Alright, I'm back. This is going to be part 2 to the video, that just got uploaded. So this is going to be part 2 about the number 9, But this is going to go into the 9 ether part because I was talking about in that last video how I was going to go into the book, show you about the 720 degrees, 360 degrees, and how they all correlate with 9. And also I said I was going to talk about the eternal angel and how you get spiritual messages through the ether, as well as how the Hebrew and the Islamic understanding of things correlate together. But let's jump right into it right here. It says this is out of 9 ether re-engineering. All right, let's jump right into it. All right. Question: how is ether related to breath and breathing? We already know about in the beginning the breath of life, how it was breathed into atom, a living soul, and atom, similar to atoms in your body, the energy state out of the Nunkai text. But let's go in here. Answer: it has been established that ether exists within the atmosphere of the air we breathe. Thus, ether also enters our bodies through breathing. The breathing or respiration process within our body breaks down the air we breathe to deliver energy to our body and brain. There is also a religious relationship between ether and breath and spirit and soul. The etymological and original meaning of the word spirit is to breathe or blow. And the three main monotheistic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the Hebrew word translated as spirit in the Old Testament of the Bible is ruach. Strong's H7307, which means breath, wind, or air. The Hebrew word ruach is also related to the Arabic word ruh, which means spirit, and is used as an attribute of the angel Gabriel in Islam as al-Ruh al-Quds. So Ruach HaKodesh and al-Ruh al-Quds will mean the same thing, which means the Holy Spirit in Arabic. In the New Testament of the Bible, the word translated as spirit is pneuma. Strong's G4151, meaning breath in Greek. The Hebrew word translated as soul in the Old Testament of the Bible is nephesh. Strong's H5315, coming from the root word nafash. Strong's H5314, meaning to take a breath. Since we comprehend that ether is related to gas, energy, air, and breathing, in all of the original meanings of the words for spirit and soul meant breathing or air, then we must also conclude that ether is related to spirit and soul. Ether is also related to the concepts of spirit and soul found other religious traditions besides Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The Hebrew word nephesh, meaning to take a breath, is also related to the ancient Akkadian word na-pa-u, meaning blowpipe, your breath pipe, and the ancient Egyptian word nefu, meaning wind, air, and breathe. The ancient Egyptians divided the ether that entered into one's body using various aspects, which together made the human soul, including the ankh, meaning to shine or radiate light. The energetic ether within the body, the ba, mentality or personality, sekhem, vital power spark of life, the divine spark. And the Ka, breath of life, vital essence. The Ka from ancient Egypt is also similar to the concept of Kai. Luna Kai. Remember, I was just talking about Planet Nine, Netar, the ethereal beings, nine ether. Concept of Kai or Kwai with a Q, or Chai from Chinese philosophy, meaning gas, breath of life, consciousness, vital energy, and life force. In Chinese philosophy, it is said that the ether Kai can be channeled through the palms for healing in a process called Rik Kai. The concept of Kai in China is also similar to the concept of prana, meaning vital breath of life. In Hindu philosophy, relate in all relate to air, breath, spirit, soul, and ether. Number 6, question: how is ether needed for life? Answer: it has been established that ether is in the air we breathe, and it is a well-known fact that air is needed to sustain life. Thus, ether is needed for life. The ether energy we get from the air we breathe enables our mind to be conscious. And as we had previously shown, ether, air, and breath are all related to the religious concepts of spirit and soul, which religious theology teaches is needed for life. When asked to substantiate the existence of spirit and soul, overwhelmingly, believers in these concepts ultimately equate spirit and soul to energy. Thus, the study of energy is the only substantial and verifiable existence of spirit and soul. The study of energy and the application of the concepts learned through the study of energy is the only true operative form of spirituality. If it is in fact true that the only constant in the universe is change, and we comprehend the change is caused by a force, then we comprehend that, it's on this page. We comprehend that the fundamental force in nature, our ultimate reality, are only things constant in existence, because force are cause and effects. We seldom observe the experience forces or energy directly, but rather just observe and experience the effects of the force or energy. The fact that the ultimate reality of nature and existence cannot always be directly observed and experienced is what led to the religious concept of worshiping an unseen, invisible, hidden Amun God. However, one instance when we do get to observe and experience one of the fundamental forces in nature, this would be Ana Chokma, or Mother Wisdom, the womb, Mother Nature. Forces in nature is when we see light, or what is scientifically called electromagnetic radiation, and thus with the advent of religious light because became associated with the manifestation of the unseen God. In Arabic, the word for unseen is invisible or hidden, is jinn or jinn, which is also related to the words genie, genus, gene, engineer, and Ghana or Jannah, the enclosed or hidden garden of paradise in the Islamic religion. In the Islamic tradition, the jinn are a group of etheric beings similar to angels. However, the jinn are made from smokeless fire, and the angels are composed of light, electromagnetic radiation. Consider that in the three main monotheistic religions, there are 7 archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Azrael, Uriel, Raguel, and Remiel. And angels are supposedly made of light, and also there are 7 colors. This is where you get the chakras from. 7 colors are red, which is the root chakra; orange, which is the sacral chakra; yellow, which is the solar plex chakra; green, which is the heart chakra, blue, which is the throat chakra, indigo, which is the third eye chakra, intuition, and violet, which is the crown chakra. And it doesn't break these down as chakras. It's just saying colors, but I'm adding the chakras to them. That make up the visible spectrum of light, which is ether, the energy fields in your body. It's all starting to make sense now. The angels are said to live in the upper atmosphere, whereas the jinn live closer to earth, because the world is given into the hands of the wicked. But it's going to tell you how these forces live within you. And in the 6th and 7th book of Moses, it talk about how you arise the eternal angel. But jinn also have free will like humans and can reproduce, generate, whereas angels do not. The word Sephirah, Strong's H8313, or seraphims, Strong H8314, means to burn, burning ones, or fiery serpents, and is the name of the angelic spirit or ethereal beings in the Judeo-Christian Bible, Numbers 21:6. Considering that the word angel actually means messenger, then we can see that the angels made of light from religious tradition are actually electromagnetic messages, much like modern radio and television signals. Remember I was saying in the other video, just look at God as the Wi-Fi box, the router box, and look at us as the device. And we don't see the Wi-Fi going from the router box to the device, but that's how God works with us through our vibrations and our thought patterns, and so on and so on. But the word jinn or jinn is also related to the word genie. And it talks about this in the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon as well. Etheric beings that grant wishes. And Solomon is the one that created the genie because he used the genie with salt in it to bind up these evil spirits and made them do his bidding. Genus and genity, engineer, and genetics, which are all associated with mental abilities in life. Therefore, there is a literal and etymological connection between the etheric jinn and the mental genus or engineer and the genetics or genus of life. Even in the more recent theosophical philosophies, the etheric world, Akashic records, is used to refer to a mental etheric library of knowledge. One of the 99 names of Allah, which I just broke down in the last video, is in Islamic tradition, Al-Aziz. The mighty actually comes from a pre-Islamic warrior goddess named Al-Uzza. Al-Uzza represented the morning and evening star and was worshipped by the Nabateans, who associated Al-Uzza with the planet Venus and Lucifer, the light bearer and the morning star. Abdul-Uzza was also the name of the uncle of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, who received the name Abu Lahad, meaning father of flames. However, the name of the angel Uriel means fire of God, or God is my light, because fire is a natural source of light. Al-Uzza has also been associated with the angel Metatron, which I told you about that name being on the 24 elder chart. Also Metatron's cube, and associated with the Kaaba stone in Mecca. And Judeo-Christian theology. And it makes sense that the devil's job is to divide and conquer, because if people can't be on one accord and they segregate it, you use one against the other, Now you have bias, and then, you have debate, But realizing you take God apart that way by basically, instead of using God as a collective whole and a collective consciousness, or alkaline, the all in one, you divide them up into partiality. So, it's a piece here, a piece there. But guess what? Everybody's being driven by this different eternal force that gives them this ideology and belief. Only the elect will be able to connect this knowledge, And I'm pretty sure people are starting to watch some people's videos, and you can kind of get the idea of who the elect is and who the elect isn't, Many are called, few are chosen. The number is going to be small. So, it's going to be a lot of shade and ignorance thrown against us. Ether is needed for life in the form of the air we breathe. Also, our very consciousness and thoughts are made up of the electromagnetic radiation ether. Electrons, protons, neutrons, atom, breath of life, human soul. Let's keep going. In addition to the breath of life and the material of our thoughts, ether is the spiritual realm from religious traditions wherein spiritual or etheric beings such as jinn, angels, spirits, souls, and God dwells. Okay? Let's get to another page. Ether is the form of plasma. Plasma comes from the sun. Sol, Ra, or Shemesh, as we know, we learned in the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon's. Ether is the form of plasma, has also been suggested by people who study the paranormal as the substance which makes up ghosts, spirits, or specters. The name given to the ether plasma that is the composition of ghosts, spirits, and specters is ectoplasma, meaning without form. Okay? Let's get to another part. All right, this is the part I was studying last night, and as I was reading this, I came across this word called malakuat. And now when you shorten the word up, malaku, if you understand the Hebrew Sephiroth, you hear the name Malchut. And Malchut, is the kingdom. The kingdom, which is thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in Shemayim, talking about the human body. But let's get into this, We're not going to go on this top. We're going to jump right down here. But I highlighted the 4 on there because it's basically telling you the plane of existence in which we are on. Now, right here, the life force ether, which is etheric form, is involved in the fluid, the blood. Fluids of the body called liquid ether, such as the bloodstream and the excretions of the ovaries and testes. The spirit is in the blood. It's starting to make sense. That was the first thing I highlighted, but I went back and started highlighting. Once I seen the spirit is in the blood, I just became, stuck. I was like, damn. And then I started just sitting there meditating, feeling the blood flow through my body. I'm like, what's real? So my soul, my spirit is in the blood. The blood is very important. That's no wonder why when you go to the blood bank, they want your blood to take the plasma out. What? I was just sitting there like, whoa. This get deep. But let's keep going. Spirits act as a spark that ignites the life in the blood. The life produces a light which appears as an auroric shell. It houses the soul, which the light messengers. This messenger transports information to the conscious and subconscious being. So, as we learned in, the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon and the Hebrew Sephiroth, where it breaks them down in the 6th and 7th book of Moses, it tells you about these eternal angels and how humankind has dominion over angels and how we can tap into the angels by just using our mentalism. And basically we can summons the angels the same way King Solomon did and all the patriarchs, matriarchs, prophets, and children of the Most High did all throughout the scriptures. Now, is that magic? Or is that just how God created things to be? Starting to make sense now? So anybody that got some ignorance to say against this or want to call it some witchcraft or something this, I rebuke you in the Hashem of El Shaddai. And may your own thoughts and intent be reflected on you, and may you fall victim to your own devices and gadgets. And may that all manifest within your own life just by speaking ignorance into existence and not studying until you show yourself approved. Salah, so be it. The spark, and that's what I always say, because I learned that from King Solomon in the Psalms in the Bible, how he reversed it, the wicked's intent, or people of ignorance intent they had against him, that they all got recompense on their own head and they fell victim to their own devices and gadgets and, the things that they were following to get the ideology to have that wicked intent, Yeah, that's how you reverse a curse. This messenger transports information to the conscious and subconscious being. The sparks of life trigger the mind that pulls itself from the mental reservoir of intellect, which is governed by the oversoul that is connected by an etheric cord. All messages in the light forms travel through the cord. So this is how you tap into the eternal angel. When you go into the Godhead in the Hebrew Sephiroth, it tells you those names are connected to angels, which are those names on the Godhead are connected to your emotions. The energy fields in your body and the chakras are connected to emotions. Starting to make sense now? Come on. It's crazy because each day I'm getting sharper and sharper. My sword is getting sharper. It's telling you that something is working through me, It's showing me. It's not no time for me to sit there and ponder and wonder if this right or wrong. No. Once I see the consistency and pattern and I correlate it, it's done. Salah, that's it. It's right then and there. I never just go with one source. I find multiple sources, and when it all says the same thing and the pattern is there, that's when the truth is unlocked. That's when my DNA is unlocked. That's when the spirit just starts to work through me, through my blood, through my plasma, and it starts to illuminate. And things will start to happen, which they have been happening. And those of you true believers and cleaver, things is about to start happening for you too, Don't matter what nobody say. From the mental reservoir of the intellect called the Akasha, each being receives light messages in their DNA and RNAs from and through these beings that are responsible for triggering each moment of thought and action in their existence. Salah. Now let's get to another part. So, a harmonious flow of energy and life in the form of light messages must travel to the being, rendering each being's inner self etheric. Now, this is talking about the holy tablets right here. Now, we're going to just read down to where I got it highlighted. Now, watch this. 9 ether will become 6 ether through time and age. Die. 6 ether becomes ghost through time and age. 6 ether is 9 ether in death, and ghost is the death of 6 ether. After the death of 6 ether, 9 ether is resurrected again. Once 666 is out of here, 999 is coming in. We coming in to complete the cycle. Guess what? The first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. Thee that leadeth into captivity is going to go into captivity. Thee that killeth with the sword is going to be killed with the sword. The law is going to be implemented. Galactic karma of cause and effect. What one generation don't get, the next generation picks up on it. And they are surely going to come to you and say that their fathers have inherited lies and worship at your feet. Because you are 9 ether. Ether rings are 720 degrees. What is 7 and 2 again? 9. 72 hours when the Messiah rose. 72 names and attributes of the Most High in Hebrew. 360 square and 360 degree circle. Why you think when they show you in these books of Solomon, everything is done with a circle? Everything is done with a circle. You live in a circle, Everything revolves around the circle. The sun is a circle. The planets is a circle. Everything revolves around a circle. That's why you get these little spook freaks in religion. They be like, oh, you got the circle. Oh, you doing magic, it's witchcraft. You don't get your ignorance. I ain't gonna say a word, but that's how I be feeling, because I understand that God created me with duality. I have the best of both worlds, but I know that in the middle, it has to be a balance, Too much good is not good for you, and too much bad is not good for you. But like the Most High said in the law, he said it's a time for peace and it's a time for war. All the spiritual lights are soldiers and special forces of the Most High. So when it's go time, it's go time. You'll know the time, you know. Etherins are 720 degrees, 360 square, and 360 circle. The etherins are crystal light energies from Ilium, the highest place. Let's say that again. 360 square, 360 circle. The square will be like the cobblestone you would see in Mecca, you know, the cube, and 360 the circle. The circle. The etherins are crystal light energies from Ilium. Remember I told you about Ilium or Alkaline, the all in all, the highest place, the providers with the S, the Galactic Federation. This is where the divine intervention is about to come in. And one of the 24 elders, Xenophon, he put out a message soon. You're about to see these things like never before, you know? And very few people got this information, but Salah, so be it. I'm out. Love y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. If it resonates with your spirit, it's real you can feel, it's fake you can't relate. Like, share, and subscribe. Pass the word on. If you think there's other spiritual lights that need to know this, give it to them. You will be blessed. Salah.